Joseph wrote in. Joseph says, hey, David, why will stupid Democrats like Bernie and Warren insist on weakening our military? This is one of those questions that really requires a little bit of historical context to understand. And the historical context is that going back decades now, there has been an attempt from the right to feminize the left. And what we're really talking about is the feminization of Democratic male candidates. If you look at 2004 and you look at John Kerry was a military veteran. The right loves to talk about so-called war heroes. We can debate whether somebody who served in the military is or isn't a war hero by default. Reasonable people can argue about that. Is merely serving your country an act of heroism? Does it depend on whatever, right? The conversation doesn't matter. By the definition that the right used, John Kerry was a war hero. And yet they feminized him. They talked about him speaking French. They talked about him, being European in whatever ways. They minimized his military credentials. The Swift boat veterans came out and attacked Kerry around his claims regarding military service. And this is all part of this movement that exists to feminize the left as being afraid of war, as being afraid of guns, as shying away irrationally from violence. So that's where you get questions like this. Why will Democrats weaken our military? And of course, the truth is that our military is so overfunded. It is so many orders of magnitude inflated beyond what it needs to be to still be the strongest and biggest military in the world, that anyone who says, you know what, I'm concerned about how much we're spending on the military. I'm concerned about the foreign policy, the moral, the legal, the ethical implications of how far the tentacles of our military spread. They are accused, like what we are seeing here, of wanting to weaken our military, when the truth is that even significant cuts to the military would not weaken the military. The U.S. would be more than able to protect itself from any kind of attack. But there's another element that I want to talk about here. There's this idea that a Democratic president like Bernie or Warren, the right likes to push this, if push came to shove and the correct decision was a military engagement, they simply wouldn't do it. They paint a picture of potential Democratic presidents as people who the U.S. would be under attack domestically, one of our allies, a base, whatever. And the military would come to President Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren. They say, Madam President, Mr. President, we're under attack. We've got to do something. And Bernie or Warren would sit back and say, no, we're not going to do anything. We will allow ourselves to simply be attacked and people to be killed. This is not how things work. I know that with Donald Trump, who operates unilaterally, going completely against the recommendations of the Pentagon and the State Department and whoever, it seems as though that's something that presidents typically do. The reality is that both Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren have made no indication that they are pacifists a priori, and they have made it abundantly clear that if they were president, when military advisors come to them and they explain the situation on the ground, they would basically follow the advice of their generals, as Donald Trump likes to say. So the question is problematic at its core. It relates to this historical feminization and weakening that Republicans have sort of successfully done to Democrats when it comes to foreign policy, because, hey, Democrats don't want illegal wars, never-ending wars, occupations in the wrong country that didn't actually do it, all of that stuff. They've feminized and framed as weak Democrats. But more importantly, they also like to pretend that a progressive president like a Bernie or a Warren would ignore the advice of experts. If anything, the problem we have right now is that Trump ignores advice from experts. Bernie or Warren would actually listen to what experts are saying, and we should be glad for that. So, Joseph, I don't know if you're asking this question in good faith or not, but assuming that it's in good faith, you appear to have been bamboozled by some of the right-wing talking points on this issue. That does it for today. We've got a great bonus show coming up for you today. Become a member or a patron to get instant access. Go to joinpakman.com right now. Takes under 1 minute to sign up.